Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the WaxMode channel, and in today's video I have Meguiar's hybrid ceramic wax out for further testing. This is going to be a follow-up video to my first video showcase. I'm going to talk about how to get the best performance out of hybrid ceramic wax. I'm going to show you guys how it compares to some of the other spray and rinse sealants on the market that I have in front of me right here. I will show you the strengths and weaknesses of hybrid ceramic wax compared to the other spray and rinses. I'm also going to do a little demonstration between how hybrid ceramic wax works as a spray and rinse compared to trying to use something like Ultimate Quick Wax and Ultimate Fast Finish as a spray and rinse. In the description, I'll have timestamps set up for some of the topics that I'm covering. I have a feeling I'm going to be jumping back and forth between a lot of different video clips. So strap yourselves in, guys, and let's jump into the video. In order to answer the question of how to get the best performance out of hybrid ceramic wax, you guys need to see what it looks like when it's performing at its maximum performance. And that's what you're seeing here in this clip. So this is hybrid ceramic wax at its absolute best. This is insane water beating. It's very fast water sheeting. This is the most hydrophobic product that I've purchased and tested from Meguiar's. None of the other spray and rinse sealants can achieve this level of hydrophobic potential by themselves. They would need a coating underneath to get you this level of crazy tight beading and quick, fast water sheeting. Now, if you're not getting anywhere near this level of water beading, then you have an issue. And those issues could be a lot of different things. Number one, the paint might need to be decontaminated. It might need to be clayed. It might need to be polished. And when you're using this for the first time, it likes a drier paint surface or a paint surface that has less water on it. And it likes to be worked into the surface using a microfiber towel or an applicator pad. So I prepped the center section here using Meguiar's Wash Plus to give me that hydrophilic water sheet. Hydrophilic is the opposite of hydrophobic, so there's no beading, there's no sheeting, the water's just sitting on the paint. So I'm going to spray hybrid ceramic wax right on top of this water sheet and then rinse it off. And this highlights the biggest weakness of hybrid ceramic wax compared to the other spray and rinse sealants because it's not as effective when sprayed directly on top of a lot of sitting water on the paint. It would be much more effective as a pure spray and rinse if I went ahead and dried the paint prior to spraying it on the surface and then rinsing it. So you can see here, I mean, we're not getting anywhere near our peak performance. In this clip here, I'm going to show you guys the difference. So now what I've done is I've prepped it using Meguiar's Wash Plus, and I went ahead and dried most of the water off of the paint. And now I'm spraying it on a mostly dry surface, which is going to give me a much better bond when I go ahead and do the final rinse. And what this showcases is that you can definitely use this as a true spray and rinse sealant under the certain conditions. And those conditions are, it doesn't like to have a lot of water at all on the surface if you're going to use this as a pure spray and rinse sealant. So Meguiar's instructions on the bottle, they're pretty much spot on. They want you guys to use this as a wax as you dry product for the first time. It's first used to build that foundation layer. So that's what you guys are going to see in this clip here. There's a little bit of water on the surface. I'm going to go ahead and spray it right onto this water. I'm going to take my microfiber towel and spread it around the paint. And instead of fully drying the paint at this point, I want to go ahead and get the pressure washer out, blast it off the surface, and double check my work. I want to make sure and guarantee I'm getting the maximum bond to the paint. And this is also a great way to conserve a lot of product. You use a lot less product out of the bottle as a spray on wet, wipe in wet compared to using it as a direct spray and rinse product. A lot of guys, we're trying to spray down every single square inch of area on the paint as a spray and rinse, and we end up going through these bottles in pretty much no time. But if you're on the paint, at least, if you're spreading it around with a microfiber towel instead of trying to make sure that you're spraying a full blast over every single square inch of paint, you will use a lot less product. And you can see through the rinse here, I'm also getting pretty much top-notch performance out of the product on the paint here. I mean, this is absolutely crazy hydrophobic, crazy fast sheeting. So this would be my recommended way to use hybrid ceramic wax, especially the first time you're using it down on the paint. And I mean, one of the reasons I really like this product a lot is it's very versatile in how you can use it. So you can use this fully dry, for example. Dry the paint first, spray it onto the dry surface, working it with a microfiber towel, or work it in with a applicator pad or a damp applicator pad, the Bryan at Apex detail method. It works absolutely fine like this. As long as you've got another towel ready to go to give it a final wipe down. It's a little bit thicker, it's a little heavier compared to a regular spray wax, but it certainly works like that. Alright, so this clip is going to demonstrate how Sonax Spray and Seal works on a fully hydrophilic water sheet compared to hybrid ceramic wax. So you can see here I'm going to spray it right onto the hydrophilic water sheet and then blast it off with the pressure washer. And you're going to see the performance on this on top of the hydrophilic sheet of water is much better compared to the Meguiar's. So for those of you looking for more of a pure spray and rinse sealant, the Sonax Spray and Seal is going to be the one to go with. And the trigger on this bottle of the Sonax is really good. It spreads. It's got a very nice fan coverage across it. It doesn't take much to get a good coverage across the paint areas that you're working on. It seems like it's a much heavier product compared to hybrid ceramic wax. This stuff, you cannot use this as a drying aid. It absolutely must be blasted off the paint with a high pressure hose or with a pressure washer. Hybrid ceramic wax is also going to be a bit more hydrophobic compared to the Sonax by itself, and there's no coating underneath of it. But this is a very capable spray and rinse sealant. I think it goes for about $20 to $25. I think it's $22 right now on Amazon for 750 milliliters, which is a great size. This clip is the hydrophobic performance of CarPro's HydrO2. This has been diluted at the 1:6 dilution ratio. That's 1 part HydrO2 to 6 parts water. This stuff comes in a 100 milliliter size bottle that you can dilute to whatever ratio that you would like. Those of you who are running a higher concentration of HydrO2, you could run into some serious streaking problems. So I recommend 1:6 ratio has been working pretty well. This is $18.50, right around $18.50 I think on Amazon right now. This second clip here is Gyeon Wet Coat. This is just straight out of the bottle that already comes pre-diluted in a 500 milliliter size. Again, right around that $19 range on Amazon. And both of these are very capable. This is going to be very similar to performance in HydrO2. Very capable spray and rinse off sealants. But I know a lot of guys, including me, I've seen a lot of heavy streaking. It just depends. If you're dealing in a hot environment, stay away from HydrO2 and Wet Coat because these products do not like higher temperatures or working with high humidity. You got to blast the stuff off the surface. This product here is the McKee 37 Hydro Blue. Again, very similar in performance compared to HydrO2 and Gyeon Wet Coat. This is going to run you about $20 on Amazon for 16 fluid ounces. I've also run into a little bit of streaking problems out of Hydro Blue as well. So all of the other spray and rinse sealants, with the exception of Sonax, I don't think I've run into very many streaking issues out of Sonax. But definitely Wet Coat, HydrO2, and Hydro Blue, I have run into some streaking problems, mostly dealing with my higher temperatures here in Florida. This clip here, I have Hydrosilex Recharge on the left half of the hood. On the right side, I have Top Coat F11, neither of which are anywhere near the hydrophobic potential of hybrid ceramic wax. Recharge is on version 2 now that's been released. They have removed the recommendation of it to use as a spray and rinse sealant due to streaking problems. And I'm not a fan of Top Coat F11 at all. It deserves its own video, which should be coming out within the next couple of months. In this clip here, I've got Meguiar's Ultimate Quick Wax, and I'm going to test it out to see how it performs as a spray and rinse, to see if we can use it as a spray and rinse product like we can with hybrid ceramic wax. So I've already done the test on a hydrophilic water surface, and I didn't get anywhere. So this is on a dry surface now. I sprayed it directly onto the paint. I'm rinsing it off with a pressure washer. And you can see here, it is bonding itself at some mild level to the surface here. Nowhere near as effective as it would be if I went ahead and just did it dry onto the paint and worked it in with a microfiber towel. Nowhere near that level of hydrophobicity, but it's still a very mild sheeting rate. So this highlights the effectiveness of hybrid ceramic wax to use as a spray and rinse product over something like Ultimate Quick Wax. You can't just take this and use it like this and expect to get any sort of decent performance. Here is Ultimate Quick Wax by itself, used on a dry surface after drying the paint and then working it into the paint dry. It's actually a very hydrophobic product, and it's got a lot of potential. It's not quite as hydrophobic as hybrid ceramic wax is, though. But you can use this underneath of hybrid ceramic wax or vice versa. Neither one of these is very picky about what's underneath of it or what's on top of it. The main train of thought is you want to use your more durable product underneath of it, which would be hybrid ceramic wax. But, I mean, if you already have Ultimate Quick Wax on the paint and you want to try using hybrid ceramic wax on top, you're not going to have any problems just putting it right over top of Ultimate Quick Wax. This is going to be Ultimate Fast Finish from Meguiar's, just applied directly on top of the Ultimate Quick Wax. I'm actually going to be researching or doing more product testing with Ultimate Fast Finish to see if we can really use this as a spray and rinse product, because if you saw my initial review of Ultimate Fast Finish, you saw me at the end of the video do a spray it directly onto the paint, and then I rinsed it right off, and you can see the crazy hydrophobic behavior out of the product right on the initial rinse. And then after I kept on rinsing it, it just went back to being, performing as it would regularly. And in the video I said I don't recommend you guys doing that. I saw some weird sort of water spotting or streaking effect happening on the paint, but now that I'm seeing with the pressure washer, doing it like this, it has enough power to blast off all the residue from all the excess residue from Fast Finish off the surface of the paint. And it is very possible you might be able to use Fast Finish as a fully spray and rinse sealant. And I know Meguiar's doesn't recommend to use it like that, but I'm going to test it out anyways. I want to see how well it can do, to see if we can get anything significant to bond to the surface without any streaking issues if I try and use it like this on a regular basis. So that's something that I'm going to be testing out in the future. So I have Ultimate Quick Wax as our base. I just applied Ultimate Fast Finish on top of it in this funky spray and rinse method. So what I'm going to do now is dry the paint off with the blower real quick. I'm going to then spray hydroceramic wax on top and use it as a dry spray and rinse method. And you're going to see it's going to have no trouble actually bonding on top of both products that have been applied to the surface. And one of the biggest questions I was getting in my first initial video review is, what happens when we get hybrid ceramic wax on the brakes when used, to seal the wheels up? And you're not going to have any troubles with that, guys. As soon as your brakes engage the first time, it's going to immediately remove anything that's bonded to the rotors. And I was getting a lot of questions about the slickness out of hybrid ceramic wax. It's certainly a very slick feeling product. It's not the slickest product that I've used, but going to be comparable with the other spray and rinse sealants. And I always get a lot of questions with regards to gloss. I do measure individual products using a gloss meter, which only measures the reflectivity of the product on the surface. Things start changing, guys, when you're using products on top of paint that's already been heavily polished to a very high level. And so there's not going to be a lot of products that are going to outright improve gloss once I've already sapped out as much gloss as I could using an abrasive and a polisher. So it deserves its own video. It's something that I'm going to bring up. I know that if you're using hybrid ceramic wax on top of paint that's not well kept or it's not as polished, you're going to see some gloss enhancement. Absolutely. So you can see through the final rinse there was no problems with this thing bonding on top of Ultimate Quick Wax and Ultimate Fast Finish. This is my favorite spray and rinse product by far, I think. Despite the weakness of not being able to see it perform as well as I would like on top of a completely hydrophilic water sheet, I think this stuff is absolutely fantastic. The price, $15 for 26 ounces. The best value spray and rinse sealant on the market. It has the highest hydrophobic potential out of it. It smells the best. You can use it in the most versatile ways. You can use it dry, you can use it wet. And you're going to be able to pick this up locally as well. Let me know if this is helpful for you guys. Leave any sort of questions and comments down in the comment section below. I'll try and get to as many as I can. Definitely stay tuned for more product testing in the future.